Most of these people looking like the Desert area, West Tampa, what else? I'm gonna say Carroll is a little bit pricey for the group that I got, but yeah, the whole area, so I can share some.
Why don't I send you the zip codes?
Yeah. We're all on the same thing, so.
I'd be happy to get it.
Yeah, because I have quite a few, and so I still got emails that I haven't, I think I got like 16, 17 contacts that I got just from driving to the website.
What was your name?
Lori.
Lori. Joseph, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Joseph. I met Jelko and I met Jack Crutchfield in Whiteburg at one time.
How's that right?
Yeah. Tell me again.
Joseph.
Joseph. What's your last name?
Murphy.
Joseph Murphy.
Irish. If you can't tell by there.
Have you used our 210
I haven't.
warranty yet?
I don't think so.
Really?
What is it?
It's home warranty for resale homes.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Make sure you tell them about the 60-day program you got for the listing, the contract, and everything.
How's that, Jack? Tell me.
So how's that going?
You,
Everything going smooth?
Rocking and rolling.
yeah,
Oh,
that's a popular thing.
Thank you.
These actually
Yes.
probably minutes, so focusing on that for the last couple weeks or so.
Oh, you, darling?
Yeah, I'm anxious to bend his ear and find out more information about it.
Is this for Nico?
I think, yeah,
Is
it's gonna
that
be one of
Jelko?
those.
Is this Jelko?
No, I think that this is going to be,
Oh, I just met her.
Lisa. That's it? Lisa.
Lisa?
Lisa. And
Lisa?
then this is Nico and, yeah, so Mike.
Maybe, yeah, they do, they
We
do.
got several people that will be on the tube there, the technology we use here, they can see it.
Lisa, hi. Hi.
What's that?
Yeah.
All right, we'll wait till Z comes in and we'll go ahead and get started.
Who's Z?
So we call Jethro Z for short.
Because that's his last name.
No, Jethro's his first name.
Oh, no, but I mean Z is his last name.
So,
So,
everybody, do you want to?
yeah. So,
Hey.
explain your name. Essentially.
Yeah, so my family comes from Croatia, so that's why it's the way it is. It's spelled Zeljko. So people that I meet, first thing they do is, what is this? And then the second thing is like, you may call me Z.
Mhm.
So my nickname, everybody knows me as Z, so my name is Jelko.
Thank you, Jen. Jill.
So we will go ahead and get started. Thank you everybody for coming. Appreciate it. Everybody on the live stream, thank you very much. We're excited for today's guest speaker. As you know, I'm a big fan of home warranties. I think they really make your contract pop when you're a buyer's agent, and then as us as listing agents, gives us that something extra to offer to a potential buyer. So we're excited to have Lori here with 210 Home Warranty. So talk a little bit more about the home warranty process and learn a little bit more about her. So for that, Lori, go ahead and take it away.
Thank you, Nico Hohman. Very good. Pleasure to be here with you and on the live stream as well. As Nico said, I'm Lori Lucky with 210 Home Buyers Warranty. 210 is the #1 new construction warranty in America. We've covered over 5.8 million homes for almost 40 years. What you all have here is the 1-year home warranty service agreement for resale homes. Our name, 210, comes from our new construction home warranties, 2 years on systems, 10 years on structural. This is a 1-year home warranty service agreement for resale homes.
Makes sense.
And this, if you open to the middle, is a service agreement that will give repair or replace coverage, whichever is most feasible and economical and appropriate for the heating system and air conditioning system, the appliances, the home's plumbing system, including the water heater, and the electrical system, including up to 3 garage door openers, all parts and components. Then you've got your add-ons that you can do, such as pools, well pumps, the water softener, and we also do septic
systems. We also offer a preseason HVAC tune-up for folks. So those are just some of the extra things that people can get. And then one of the things that really sets 210 apart is on the next page, we spell out all of the terms and conditions. It tells us exactly what the service agreement includes, doesn't include. A lot of your home warranty service agreements will give you a sample of the terms and conditions. I am very proud to work for a company that gives you the terms and conditions. As a consumer, isn't that what you want? You want to see what are the terms and conditions. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. And in order to get us started, I wanted to go over the 10 most important things that every agent needs to know about home warranty. That will set the stage for our conversation. Does that sound good?
Yeah, sounds fantastic.
Okay. Number one, question is, how many out of every 10 homes this year and every year will experience a systems or appliance failure?
I say probably the high number 8.
You're very close.
So,
And 7 is correct. Delco, excellent. Jelco is perfect. 7 is the number. And then here's the next statistic. Out of every 10 homes, 5 breakdowns are gonna, or five will break, the HVAC system will break down. It's actually 1 out of every 2.2, so just about half. At an average cost of how much do you think? And this actually includes repairs and replacements, average cost.
Yeah, I'd say it's on the high end, like D, at $4,055.
You know, I think that you are correct here in Florida. Now, across the country, the number is $3,055, but we believe that here in Florida, what do you think, guys?
Yeah.
Probably a little higher.
Yeah, we just got a new air conditioning condenser, and it was $5,000.
Thank you, Mr. Murphy.
Yeah.
Excellent. And that's what I'm hearing from most of my agents is that when they're getting replacement systems, it's between $5,000 and $6,000 most often for a single family home, 2,500 square feet. Is that kind of your range?
Yeah, we have a 1,400 square foot home, or actually, I'm sorry, 1,600.
1,600, me too.
Yeah.
That's okay, good. So now I know what I'm in for. Actually, I do have the warranty on my house and I've enjoyed that, love it. Okay, so here's the next thing. Number 3, what every agent needs to know. How many people in America do you think are living paycheck to paycheck?
quite a few.
I'd say C, 76%.
You are right on, Mr. Murphy, you got it.
So I'm just going with the trend. So if we go with C on all of these,
Yeah, and
Definitely, yeah.
I think you are correct there. So we know that a lot of folks are living paycheck to paycheck. We've all been there at some point. Buyers oftentimes are putting together every penny they have to do their down payment and their prepaids. And this is why this thing is so important. And then here's something that directly speaks to you as an agent. How many agents, nobody in this room, I know because you have Nico here, but how many agents in general will face litigation at some point in their career? And 60% of the time, and we know this from the E&O insurance industry, that's errors and omissions insurance, 60% of the time it's over something a home warranty would have addressed. How many agents will face litigation at some point in their career?
I want to say C.
Oh yeah, exactly.
1 in 5.
1 in 5 is correct. It was that. Bravo. So for this reason, the errors and omissions insurance industry considers home warranty to be one of 4 proofs of professional service, along with using state or attorney-approved contract forms, recommending professional home inspections, and always recommending a what?
home warranty.
Well, that's one.
Okay.
Then you got your state or attorney approved contract forms, your professional home inspection, and always recommending a seller's.
Disclosure.
Yes, bravo, Jato, you're right on, man. You are right on. So by putting in every single file some kind of form, and we've included one here. This is for your file. This form, we do not need this filled out. This is not for us, this is for you, for your file, if you choose to use it. And it simply says at the bottom, I, the customer, have been presented a home warranty solution and have decided I do not want one. If something breaks down that would have been covered under this home warranty service agreement, I will not hold my agent or broker liable for that breakdown. So, and then I'm gonna share with you some scripts to use with your buyers and with your sellers to keep it simple and easy. But first, let's go back up to number 6. I don't know what you have here in this particular brokerage for a fall through rate. The number that I'm using is one that I use, that I have the numbers for on one of the largest brokerages in this Tampa Bay area. So it's pretty accurate for a large number of people. May or may not apply to you, but how many transactions do you think experience fall through? So what that means is it gets under contract and then it comes back out of contract. So it's back on the market. Buyer buys the house, but then they decide, no, we don't want the house. They have a right to inspect and a right to what? See, exactly. Back out, cancel, yes. What do you think the fall through rate is?
20%?
20%, yeah, that's what we're seeing. Used to be much lower, like around 7%. And we saw that spike. What we're finding more and more, it's not even appraisal issues or loan approval issues as much as it is buyers wanting to cancel after they get that home inspection report because they're paying top dollar in this market, right? And they're looking at this inspection report and they're wondering, am I gonna be able to carry this home and the maintenance on this home? And does this home have a lot of deferred maintenance that the sellers have not addressed? And I'm gonna be carrying the burden. So, on to number 7. This is for sellers. So knowing that, for a seller, we know that homes that are marketed and sold with a home warranty are going to net the seller about, we know that homes that are marketed with warranty sell for $2,300 on average, higher selling price, apples to apples. If the home warranty costs $440 for the seller to put that on the home, how much money would the seller be leaving on the table if they did not put a home warranty to the buyer? This is simple math. Home will sell $2,300 higher on average, minus $440 paid at closing. Seller that doesn't put the home warranty is leaving how much money on the table?
I'm gonna have to go outside the box and say
Yes, sir, Mr. Murphy, you got it.
instead of the typical C.
Yes, sir.
But actually, it's also because it's on the side here. So.
Oh, thank you, yes. Hey, I wanna make it easy for you. I wanna build your confidence.
Right.
I wanna make things simple, clear, and easy for realtors. The next couple of items have to do with the home inspection process, and number 8 says, what do most home inspectors tell you about the home's AC system?
Works today.
Thanks, Jack Crutchfield. I appreciate that. That's exactly right. They're going to tell you at this moment, we got 80-degree air going in, and we got 70-degree air coming out. What else?
That's a good thing.
That is a good thing. That is a good thing. And then they're going to be able to look at the sticker on the outside, sometimes it's faded completely away. They'll tell you though, what the sticker says, they'll tell you what their, temperature gauge says as far as the air blowing out and going in. Is there anything else they'll tell you?
Year that it was installed?
Yeah, if it's on the
Sometimes.
sticker,
Yeah.
if they can see it.
Sometimes.
So that's how that works. And then next question says, what do 99.9% of home inspectors not tell you about the home's AC system? Because they're not HVAC certified.
The actual condition of it.
Thank you, Jack, the actual condition of it.
You know, it's rusted or.
As far as the internal, because you need, just like you need a license to sell real estate, you need a license to take the cover off of a condenser unit. Look inside, check the pressure, see if it's leaking refrigerant. See if maybe there's a family of mice that's moved in there, and that happens. It really does. You'd be surprised. You get some animal intrusion.
I had a lizard fly capacitor.
Yes, it happens all the time. It happens all the and then last but not least, I want you to know, well, for number 10, I'll let you decide. What do savvy agents tell their buyers and sellers when it comes to home warranty? Yes, all of the above, right? All of the above.
Yeah, all the above. Definitely on B. Price it right from the start.
Yes.
Probably one of the biggest hurdles.
Declutter, pack, clean, fix, paint, price it right from the start, and include a home warranty so that you can net more money. Is there anybody here that has a rock solid, bulletproof script for presenting to every buyer and every seller a home warranty? Jack, I thought maybe.
No, not really. Other than the biggest thing is the what you said about the the services that you get for the money. You know, that's the big thing.
I agree, Jack. If I were just going to tell my buyer, my seller one thing, I would just tell them, look at what this includes. It's the heating system, the air conditioning system, the appliances, plumbing system, including water heater, the electrical system, including garage door openers. For $440, you've got $25,000 worth of coverage. And if you guys want to highlight that, it's in the middle column of your terms and conditions at the very bottom. $25,000 is the limit on this particular service agreement from 210. This is sold only through realtors. People have to be working with a realtor to get this product. If they were to go directly to us online, they can purchase a service agreement. It does not have this amount of coverage for this low of price. Again, $25,000 worth of coverage. We go up to 2 AC systems. There's no limit on those 2 systems except, well, $25,000. A lot of home warranty companies have much lower limits, around $15,000 for a couple that Nico and I talked about you've used here in the past. They also limit the HVAC repairs to $5,500, and then that's it. They're going to be done. So with us, you get up to 2 systems. We do SEER matching. That means that when we do have to replace a worn-out air handler that broke down due to normal wear and tear, we're also going to replace the condenser unit outside.
Nice.
Now, remember, we're going to try to repair it first. So when it finally wears out to where it cannot be repaired, that's when we go to replace. But we do the SEER matching. So it's going to be replaced according to code. People should always get the Supreme because it will cover code violation corrections up to $250.
Wow.
Modifications if necessary to effect a covered repair up to $250. Also permits up to $250. Now that's going to go across all of the trades. So that's per service agreement per year. $250 in permits across all the trades, $250 in code violation corrections across all the trades, $250 in modifications if necessary to effect a covered repair. This comes into play a lot with ACs and water heaters, because the new water heaters are different dimensions and they now have to have a huge valve on the top.
Yeah.
So sometimes we gotta cut the closet where it's located or whatever that may entail. And that's what I mean by modifications if necessary to effect a covered repair. So just letting people know the basics, that's a really good thing. And all the coverage for, well, $25,000 worth of protection for, let's say, $540, because we want to lead with Supreme. That Supreme will cover the washer and dryer. That's the one big thing that you're not going to have in your standard.
Does this include hauling away if you replace an item or something, hauling away the old item?
Supreme includes the haul-away fees too. Thanks for saying that, Jack. That's across the board. With Supreme, we're going to do the haul-away included. Otherwise, there can sometimes be an additional charge. So if somebody just has the standard plan, there might be an additional charge for a haul-away. We'll cover the parts and the labor, but then they got that. So why not just get the Supreme to begin with, and people are the most satisfied, and that's how we want our customers, the most satisfied, right? Now, if you flip over the 10 questions, on the other side is a script for buyers and a script for sellers that really keeps it simple, clear, and easy. And here's what the one for buyers sounds like. Jelko, when you buy this home with me, we know that 7 in 10 homes will have a breakdown of a system or appliance. We know that 5 in 10, it's gonna be the HVAC. And we know that the average cost of that is around $3,000. I tell you this to help you make the best decision for you. Are you comfortable accepting $3,000 possible breakdown costs into your household budget? Or would you prefer to manage that with a home warranty service agreement? Okay, great. And on to the next thing, because you only got about 1,000 things you need to talk about with your buyers and sellers, right? So that's how you keep it just real simple and easy. Because there's 2 ways to go when it comes to dealing with stuff. You could be proactive or reactive. And what are we all in this room?
Proactive.
That's right. And then if we're going to be proactive, when it comes to risk, there's 2 ways to be proactive with risk. You can either accept it or you can manage it. Some people are liquid. Some people have 20 grand just kicking around, like totally liquid. They don't maybe need a service agreement because they can, they can replace an AC system. No big deal. Most of us are not that liquid. So we prefer to do what? Manage it with a home warranty service agreement. Now, when it comes to your sellers typically have one thing on their mind. What is it?
How much money?
Money. How much money? And they look at a home warranty and sometimes they see it as a what? Cost. Expense. Yes, thank you. Exactly. So here's how we talk to the sellers. Lisa, right? When you list this home with me, regarding selling this home, regarding selling this home on time, on your time schedule, with the fewest problems and the most money the market will allow. We know that homes listed and marketed with warranty will net the seller about $1,860 more money. Also, it helps to keep the deal on track and keep the buyer on board all the way to the finish line. For those 2 reasons, I always recommend a home warranty. Do you agree? Yes. Great. Would you like, oh, and you could get it for yourself during the listing period for just $60 due at closing, and that includes the $25,000 worth of protection for you while the home is on the market. What would you prefer to do? Just get one for the buyer at closing for $440 or $540, or get one for the buyer at closing and get one for yourself now for $60 due at closing?
I'd rather get one for 60 plus the, yeah.
Okay, great. And on to the next thing. As you only got about how many? 1,000 things to talk about.
I would pay 60 for the inducement to list with me.
I love that, Jack, and that's another way to go about this script. Lisa, when you list with me, I include the seller's $25,000 plan when you list with me.
Okay, I have a question about that. If you have them, or if you introduce them to the $60 for while it's listed with you and the premium, it comes out to $600 out of the final closing cost, right?
Well, if they get the Supreme for the buyer, which most sellers don't. Most
Right.
sellers will just give the buyer the standard plan, and the buyer can upgrade if they want.
Regardless, if you are not able to sell the house during the time period of your contract and somebody else, it expires, and somebody else picks it up, then are they still obligated to pay you that $60 for while it was maintained?
What a great question. Number one, you are not gonna take an overpriced listing, okay? And it's
Okay.
not gonna expire. And if you do take an overpriced listing, you're gonna build in price reductions right from the start. So, number one, that's not gonna happen. But number two, if it did, we lose, you lose, the seller
Okay,
loses,
so then,
we walk away, and yeah, that's
so you're saying that you only do get paid if it does close?
correct.
Okay, that was, thanks.
You are most welcome. So that's the basics. Now, sometimes you get an analytical buyer or seller and they want to know all kinds of details about this thing. I want you to know you do not have to memorize this. You've got my contact information, that's my cell phone, my email, right on every single one of these. If they want to call me, or you, of course, can call me, but your customers, especially if you have somebody that wants to delve into the nuts and bolts or something. I'm also here if we ever have one that goes off track. You have a buyer, they close on the home, you call them up 3 days later and you go, how's it going? And they go, oh, we moved in and all of a sudden the fridge stopped working and the tech was supposed to show up today and they never showed up. You call me. You call me right away. Or they can call me. Either way, I want to know about it right away.
You guys control that, right? What comes out?
We do. So the process is real simple right here at the beginning. It's when they get a breakdown, they call our claim number. It's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. They can call it anytime, place their claim, and then we have one of our service providers in our network contact them to schedule an appointment with them. It's typically going to be Monday through Friday. If it's something that they feel like they want to have it right now, they can pay the weekend fees. Sometimes it's only an extra $35, but we do normal business. Like right now, that's just how we do it, unless it's an emergency, which we define up here. An emergency would be no electricity or gas or water or toilet to the whole house. That's an emergency, number one. There's two more. Number two would be something that's causing ongoing damage to the house, like the water line broke and the shutoff valve is completely frozen. You can't get it off. Okay, yeah, that's an emergency. And then number three, something that's causing a health issue to the whole house, like the gas line broke and the shutoff valve is frozen. So it's got to be a true, real emergency Otherwise, I know people here in Florida, they say it's July, my AC's out. It's an emergency, especially if they have younger children or their fridge is out, if they have young children, it's an emergency. But we define it in that particular way. It's clear, it's there. I understand sometimes we're gonna have situations where people will want immediate service and we can try to arrange and see if they wanna pay the extra, whatever it is.
And there's $100 service fee.
And there's $100 deductible, that's the deductible. And as soon as the technician comes out to the house, the technician gets the $100 deductible.
That comes out of the sellers or buyers.
Well, the homeowner, because this policy will start on the day of closing for the buyer, even though we'll wait about 3 weeks to get paid. So we're supposed to get paid within 14 business days.
You get it from title company.
We get it from the title company. Now, this brings me to the next point and the final point, which you probably want to know, well, what do we need to do? What does the agent need to do? So you present it to your buyers and sellers, they make the decision. You help them to make what? Good decisions, right? But whose decision is it? It's their decision. And then if they decide, yeah, that sounds like a good plan, you want to go ahead and call our enrollment team, 1-800-795-9595, Agent Services. They will create you an invoice. And then you give that invoice to the title company. And if you don't, the title company will be asking you for it. So that's how you get it. You just call the 800 number. Now, alternatively, you could also email agentservices@210.com, and we're going to need the customer name, contact info, property address. Is it under 5,000 square feet? Yes. Okay. Is it over? It's going to be an extra $150 for every 2,500 square feet. We can get you that quote later, but that's the formula. It's easy. Anyways, you could also email it if that's how you like to do it. But the really cool way to do it is if you go to 210.com/agent and open up your own portal, and you can create your own invoices, and you can see all your customer information right there, the property address, if they placed any claims, and it's a nice touch point. Does that sound good?
And those are over 5,000 square feet, right?
Under 5,000 square feet. So we cover residential, single family, mobile homes, single family homes, that's considered the same thing. And then we also do condos and townhomes, that's $20 less. So it's $440, $540 standard Supreme for single family homes, and $420, $520 standard and Supreme for condos and townhomes. And then if you do duplexes, it would be $520 or $420 times 2, or triplex. And if it's new construction within the first 3 years, like somebody bought it new and then they're selling it a year later, it's still considered new construction, we'll give them a 2-year warranty for $650. That's a 2-year. That's a good deal.
That's pretty cool.
Jack, how did I do?
Great.
What questions do you have for me?
None right now. I've heard you pitch before, but it's good.
What makes us different from the other companies, again, is we give you the terms and conditions right up front. This is your customer service agreement. This isn't just a brochure. I mean, make sure they have this. This tells them everything they need to know. There's their terms and conditions. There's everything that is covered. They have my contact information.
You work a certain territory?
Tampa Bay, so all 4 counties, well, I consider it all 4 counties, so Hillsborough, Pinellas, Pasco, and Hernando. And then we also have good coverage in Lakeland, and we also have good coverage in Sarasota, but my coworkers cover those 2.
What about Polk?
Polk is, well, that's Lakeland, yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
I didn't hear you say Polk.
I said Lakeland.
Oh.
Not in the outlying areas, but just in the Lakeland metro area.
Right.
If you can call Lakeland a metro area, can I say that too? Okay. All right, more confusion questions Anything?
Yeah, do you typically give one of these to the seller or buyer?
Always.
Or would we, how would we get a hold of these? If we get
Oh, that's, we're gonna leave you with a stand here in the office,
Okay.
and I'll refill this as often as you need it. And you got 25 in the stand, you got 25 here. How many do you think we could use, Nico? Another 50 for now, or?
That might just be good for now.
For now, okay. And I'm here once a week, you know, you'll get me anytime, I'll bring you more. Sound good?
Yeah.
Awesome, you
And then
guys.
as far as that other thing, you said, you can go and make a portal on the website.
Yes.
And, could you do that prior to getting the listing so that you
Oh,
can use it as a
yes.
selling, aspect?
Yes, if you give me your cards,
Mhm.
I'll get you all enrolled into our system and you'll be good to go, and you just go on there and create your password. Make it nice and easy for you. And Jack, you're already in there, you
Well,
just
you're
have
gonna
to,
have to change.
we'll just update you. So I'm gonna send these to agent services so that they can
That sounds fantastic.
do that.
I like it.
Thank you, Jennifer. Lisa, thank you. I'm Lori, you are? Miss Soma. Thank you, thank you. Beautiful, beautiful. Looks good, you guys. All right, if there are no more questions, I'll turn this back over to Nico Hohman.
Fantastic presentation.
So what we do normally do at the end of our meeting, we have what we call our mastermind session, where we go around the room, we figure out what's working, what's not working, we help one another learn. If you're more than welcome to stay, but if you have to go, we understand that too. So,
Oh, thank you. I do have a husband, so he's probably getting hungry.
fair enough. Well, thank you again for coming. I really
Nico Hohman. I
appreciate it. Yeah,
appreciate you.
absolutely. Sounds good.
I'll tell you one thing right now, that's not working is the speed.
Yeah, I'll give you that. So to kind of talk a little bit more about home warranty, so a lot of you know, if you've had this before with us, what we do in our listing disclosure with Hohman Homes is that we charge what we call an MLS fee. So a lot of you, if you on the buyer side would see commission 3% minus whatever. That fee typically goes straight to a brokerage. As a broker, I despise that fee. There's no point to it. It's just another way for a listing agent, listing broker to make more money. So what we do when we charge our MLS fee, it really is a fee to cover the cost of a home warranty. So our fee is 3% minus $500.
I was gonna mention that, but I didn't know if you.
Yep. And so
Or
that
whatever negotiated a rate you decide.
right. So at the association, that's what we have to say. Here at Hohman Homes, we can say 3% because that's my number, as an example. But so that $500 we would use to pay for a home warranty for the buyer. We take that $500 out of the buyer's agent's commission and give that $500 towards the buyer as a home warranty. So when you're a listing agent and you're selling a home, you can list the home and market the home as if it comes with a home warranty, because that's exactly what that listing fee does. And
Is that on both sides?
no, so that $500 only comes out of the buyer's agent commission. Now, if you wanted to, offer half or all of that from your own commission, you can certainly do that. And we do give the buyer's agent an option to not have that if the buyer wants to pay for that directly. So ultimately, it's up to the buyer whether or not they want it, but at least we market and offer that.
To me, it's a tremendous selling point, if somehow you can cover that home warranty for
You, as the listing agent, covered for the buyer. You could do that.
$540 if it was a.
That's another question I have, is that typically you're going with the HWA, which is a standard of $500, and that's why you have it set at $500 to cover that cost. Now seeing this as an alternative, it looks like even if you do the $60 extra for while it's under contract,
Correct.
then you're talking a lot more, an extra $100, I guess, because if they go with premium, which is $540, and then the 60 would make it an extra $100.
You could choose that, because you could go with the standard.
Yeah, and
Still
then,
offering a home warranty.
okay.
Now, once that house is listed, that agent has to pay the $500.
The buyer's agent. Yes, unless they and the buyers agree to not have a home warranty, for that home. They do have that option to take it away, in which case we take away the $500 fee. So it's not like,
You don't get the extra.
Right, it's either you use the 500 for a home warranty, or there's no.
That puts that buyer's agent in an embarrassing position.
Exactly, right. And that's, it's, I mean, it's a way for us to help market the home. It's a benefit to the buyer. Most homes already have an MLS fee. Why not use the MLS fee for something purposeful and meaningful versus just extra dollars that are going to the listing agents?
I have another question, as far as that. Now, using this, the premium or the standard, that could actually be during the listing contract, where if they do decide to go with the premium, would there be a limit as far as how much we could put as far as the buyers, how much they pony up? So in other words, if the seller says that they want to do the spring, and then it comes out to plus the $60 for themselves, then I mean, if we had a $60 instead of a $50 negation for the buyer side, I mean, I'm sure that would turn off a few people, but is there any limit to how much you can add or subtract?
You can sell it. You can tell them, like, $500 will cover that. We'll cover you. We'll cover the standard. If you want to upgrade to 600, you pay for
You just have to explain
it. Yeah.
that right now it's in the listing that the buyers will pay the $500.
Well,
That doesn't answer the question though, as far as, is there a limit to how much you can put as an additional charge from the buyer's end?
No. So as far as what we would have as their MLS fee, that we can adjust. Typically, I wouldn't have it more than $500. We can then also, right, we can also do, so a home warranty is a separate contractual clause in the contract. So in that, no, it's in the actual as is contract. It's like paragraph 10 or 11 or something like that.
Right.
But it specifically spells out home warranty, who pays for it, and how much it is, and where it's from. So if you wanted to say, we'll do a 210 home warranty that the buyer pays for, we'll do the Supreme package plus a pool, on that line item, then you might say $780 or whatever that costs would be. So it just depends on who pays for it, how much they pay for it, and then anything above and beyond what would normally come from an MLS fee would then be added on to the buyer's expense.
Ah, I see. So they'd come out of their closing costs, or add to their closing
It would
costs.
be added to their closing costs.
Right.
So so if you're representing the buyer, I always recommend to put in the contract, ask for the seller to pay for a home warranty. Essentially, you want a home warranty, you just don't want to pay for it. You always want the other party to pay for it. You can include the cost of a home warranty. So let's say you're representing a buyer, you ask for the seller to pay for the home warranty. The seller does not agree to pay for a home warranty, but they do agree to pay for some closing costs. A home warranty can be considered part of your closing costs. You could have some of those costs for the home warranty negated from the sellers when they're assisting you and your buyers in the closing costs.
Okay. So basically, like this contract that I just put in, we asked for $5,000 in closing costs. They wanted to go down to $3,000. We ended up agreeing to $3,500. But when it says $3,500 in closing costs, it's not specified what the closing costs will entail. So it could have some of the home warranty included, but at what percentage, and how do you know which is those numbers?
So that's tough to say in that so let's say your closing costs are $10,000 for the buyer, and that includes everything from origination fees, title fees, appraisal, home inspector, home warranty.
They just
Courier
debit
fees.
that to the seller.
Right, assuming that the buyer has, So your $3,500 will cover, instead of your closing cost now being $10,000, your closing cost will be $6,500. It's not like they're going to directly subtract, $400 from the appraisal, $250 from the service fee or whatever it is. They're just going to give you a general lump sum. So it's tough to say that we're getting all of our home warranty paid for, but we're paying for all of our appraisal. It's really, you're getting a 35% discount on all of your expenses across the board.
Okay.
There's a limit to it too.
Depending on what type of financing that you're getting. That some loan products only allow you to take X% of the seller's
The seller's shade was 3%. Is that the shade?
I don't remember. I know if you're using conventional, it could be anything.
Yeah. But as the chain, VA, I want to say.
So, well, VA, the buyers don't pay for any of the costs. The
That's right,
sellers,
that's right. So FHA is the one
that limits. And some conventional projects, depending on how much you put down, will limit on how much the seller can contribute to closing costs.
Is there anywhere I can go to get more information on this?
Well, home market?
Yeah, probably on FHA.com, right? To get more information as far as how much your limit is, how much they can contribute.
Yes, and I would ask you, whoever the loan officer is too, because it varies by product, it varies by the particular buyer. Because it's depending on the buyer's financial situation, the lender will have to incorporate the closing costs in their underwriting process. So let's say the closing costs would be $5,000, but the buyer only has $2,000 cash in the bank. They're not going to be able to afford the closing costs. So that would be something that the underwriter has to know in that process. So that's why it's useful to put it in the contract, because then the underwriter can process that information with the seller providing some closing cost assistance. But yeah, I'll always ask the loan officer, because every loan, every homeowner, every house is a little bit different.
Okay. And the loan officer is basically the same as the mortgage broker.
Yeah.
Make it turn it down too. I'm actually closing in the turn it down. We offered it. There's a spot on the contract where you can choose who pays for it, or if you don't want.
Right.
The home warranty, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and then, yeah, when you send them the contract,
She
if they don't want
gives
to
you this
agree,
thing
they
though,
don't
that it's
say
kind
they
of,
don't agree.
covers your butt a little better too, to have it sign this.
So that's the other part of it too, is that offering a home warranty to a buyer and seller allows, if you guys are paying for your own errors and omission insurance, and you had a home warranty on every single one of your homes that your contracts, you would actually get a discount on your errors and omissions insurance. So not only is it a benefit to your home buyer and seller to have a home warranty, but it's a benefit to your own business practices because your professional liability insurance is less. So since I'm paying for everybody's errors and omissions insurance, that's why I say always ask the buyer, when you're representing a buyer, always ask the seller to pay for it. And that's why we use the MLS fee to cover that cost, because it also helps with our insurance rates too.
Nice.
Okay. All right, any more questions about home warranty?
Do you think this is a better program than the other one?
So the program that we use, Home Warranty of America, their standard, their top of the line is $490. However, their overall coverage limit is only $15,000. So you get everything covered, and as far as the 210 Supreme versus the Home Warranty of America Supreme, you get everything pretty much the same amount of coverage. It's just that 210's dollar amount is higher, but you obviously pay $50 more for it too. So it just depends. I haven't used 210 before, so I couldn't speak about the process and all that. But as far as their amount of coverage that they have, it seems like they offer more than Home Warranty of America.
The proof is when they have to provide,
Right. Hopefully you never have to use a warranty, but if you do, that's when you have to figure out, okay, how quickly did they get their service reps out, how much did it cost them.
I like the fact that they're willing to cover it during the process.
Correct. So that is, I haven't heard that before, and that's something that for me, if I was listing a nicer home, I would easily say in my listing presentation, look, I will gladly offer you a home warranty while it's being listed under me. And if that's the make or break
if you listen to me, I'll cover a home warranty until closing.
Yes.
$60.
Now, when does that get paid? At closing?
You would know. I would assume you'd probably have to pay that before the home goes on the market. So you would probably have to come up
But
to
the
So
60
before,
to 60. Yeah,
A little bit quicker.
No, she
no,
said
it's from the time the contract is signed.
your listing agreement or the actual.
If you have a contract on the house and you accept it, it's that period until closing.
Okay, so in which case, then
They don't have to worry about anything breaking after they get a signed contract.
but then and so one of the questions you had. So let's say it falls under contract. are you then, as a listing agent, still responsible for that $60 fee? That I don't know.
That was one of the questions I asked her, and she said that the $60 comes out of the title company when you go under, when you sell the
Right, so
house.
when you successfully close, yeah, that I definitely get, but let's say,
So it'd probably be a lesser check to you as a broker, and then you'd have to subtract it.
well, it depends how on our commission authorization form, we could say the $60 comes directly out of the teammate commission versus the overall gross commission too, so we can, specify that as well.
But no, she said that if you go under contract and they
Yeah,
have
I
it,
remember that, yeah.
and they don't sell the house, then they don't get the $60.
And if the one in five falls through,
Yeah, it's only if you.
If you sell it, then it comes out of this.
the money's not collected until you close. I think it's a good deal.
Any other more questions?
Do you have any questions?
Any other?
I thought we could move on from home work.
Yeah, any other general?
This is the best shit.
No general.
And if you ever sell it, you can always call her. Call her to tell you what it is.
Okay.
All right, general questions. Things are going well, things not going well.
This heat.
Struggle with success, yeah.
Have you guys been touring a lot of properties?
What's
Have
that?
you been touring a lot of properties? Have you been doing some previews?
Actually, I have not been doing a lot with real estate lately because of different things happening in the homestead. My mother-in-law just had a valve put in her heart, and she's 91, so she's doing good, but she's got to go to the doctor quite a bit. I'm sorry?
I think you mentioned that last time we were.
Yeah. So other than that, things are moving along smooth. I'm still working with Rick and Cindy, and we're closing on the 2nd or 3rd of August. And other than that, I'm going to start stepping it up in the next few weeks.
Yeah.
And really, and I want to get with you as far as finding out more information about the tenant.
Yeah, that's actually happening right now. Like I'm responding to someone, they're constantly calling me.
Where are these coming from?
So we got a listing, we got some listings, and we're gonna have a photo shoot tomorrow from the listing. And these people are calling, inquiring about the property we had. Unfortunately, we can't rent it because we're still working on planning.
Is this listing to rent?
Yeah, listing to rent, correct. So these people are
You
calling.
have
about
the
the
same guy
home.
do these things?
Well,
Pictures?
Yeah.
So
But,
with rentals, we won't do a video tour, we'll just do professional pictures.
You don't do the aerial shot?
No, not on rentals. It's just more expensive, and one, the rental, the pictures, we can reuse over and over again every time you have to market it for rent too.
How long are they good for? Like a year?
Pictures?
Yeah, I mean,
Once we pay for them, we own them forever.
right. But I mean, don't you have to have more current pictures taken?
Only if something changes with the home.
Are you gonna, you just shoot the same interior and use that interior?
yeah, you can do that. Yeah, but these people that are calling, like, we can't rent this home because we're still waiting for the address to clear from the city. So we can still offer them other properties, we can look in the list, that whole rental section,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
show you how to look.
Exactly what I'm working with.
And sometimes you want to make anywhere from $100 to $500-600 per rent.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
crap, but also you get to kind of talk to clients, you can kind of build rapport, build rep,
Right.
kind of get confident,
You
talking
know,
to people
if
more.
they're not in a position to buy, but they're working towards it.
And they can always recommend it too, because I actually got recommendations from working with somebody to find a rental. They're recommending somebody else to work with, and after you show good service, they'll gladly use you in the future, especially if you follow up with them. So it's, don't say look at it, but everybody's interested. I have a lot of people.
Yeah, I can handle Odessa.
It's
and
to
Leeds
find a
and-
place, and there's not enough of them.
Oh, there's not enough.
Well, I mean, there is, but
Inventory?
it's all over. I mean, it's.
So you got more
I can't
clients?
cover them all. I can't go cover 50 people in one day. So that's all I'm saying.
so they
I have a lot of
You
people.
can call more calls from people that are looking for a place to rent.
Of course, yeah. And I'm driving to the site so we capture these leads and have their emails and their names. All we need to do is more or less just go on MLS, find properties, send it their way. If they're interested, respond, and follow up with them. And if
So
they
what
want
happens
to
if they
join
go without
property-
you? Like you send them the
Well, you
emails,
know
it tells them where they're at, where the place is at. Why wouldn't they just go without you?
And then, so the properties that we would send on the MLS are only accessible via an agent. So whether it's a combo code that only has,
Oh, I
that
see.
you have to get from the MLS, or it's a electronic lockbox you would have, agent would have to come and let you in the door.
Okay.
And they can call that property management company and then try to require for them to show it to them or whatnot.
Right.
But that's why these are leads.
Right.
So
And how are you
call
also-
us.
How much money are we making on it?
It depends. I mean, like I said, I mean, for rentals, you can get anywhere from
If another
100 to
property
1,000
management
bucks.
company's involved.
But if it's an MLS, they'll tell you exactly what you're going to be making. You'll find a commission.
$100.
Yeah, it's not a standard fee. Like you're not going to get like, you know, I mean, you're renting a home for $1,000, $1,500 to $1,000. You're not. You're going to get whatever they want to give you. So if I find you a referral fee, they'll say that referral fee could be $250. It could be $100. It could be $500. I just want to show the home the other day. It was around, and their fee for you to show the home and work with the client, sign all the paperwork, it's $500.
That's
So you can't make up with $500.
If you go on the MLS and you go under rentals, and you can look at each one of them, and it'll tell you how much they're willing to give you. And a lot of them do say like $100. It's very nominal.
Yep. So for single family homes in the suburbs, especially you get to downtown in South Tampa, apartments and condos, then they'll pay 1 month's rent
Yeah.
for a rental fee.
And that can be lucrative. That can work out. But yeah, the other ones that want $100 to bring people in.
So definitely, yeah. And so at that point, you have to make a decision. This is more of a marketing expense than it is an actual business expense. I'm trying to build a relationship here with someone that could potentially buy a home in a year, 2 years from now. Yeah, it's only $100, $200 to show this rental, but I'm more doing it to build that relationship and to be able to connect with them for the future.
And I'll tell you what too, like I was working with kind of like that. I didn't find the rental, looking and showing him a property, couldn't find it. He found another property he really liked, and it was through a property management company. And that went out for nothing. It wasn't even less. So I just reported to them, didn't do anything else. He went to them, got a home, they moved in, dude was happy as a pig in shit. He
Yeah,
sent me a picture of his kids. Oh my God, thank you, you made this possible. I didn't do nothing. I was showing like one property and it was just nice to the guy.
G-Char's got a arrangement with the Deal Air Force Base where you go down the house as a realtor.
I've heard that before, yeah.
They won't let you can only show properties for rent.
Okay.
You can't talk to them about buying a house.
Okay.
But who's to say?
Right. It's
Take my
gonna,
card.
it's gonna come up in the
I'll
conversation.
follow up with you.
Right.
Why can't you talk to them?
They just set a restriction.
Sure, it's not just.
They give you a table down there, and you go down there, and I think they got a computer.
This is different. This is not like that. This is all you. It's free reign. You can do what you want. You can help them. You can take them a couple of listings. You can just give up on them. Tell them right up to you. But I just like the only thing I find out with the tenants, with the listings, with the rentals, is you're active. You're doing stuff.
Yeah.
Especially if you don't have no action, that kind of keeps you in the game. And to me, it just keeps you motivated. So,
True. True.
Yeah. But if I'm going to make a lot of money out of it, no. Compared to selling a home or helping the buyer, it's the closer over there. That's not going to compare to that.
Yeah. Should be the second or third of next month. Yeah. Exactly. How are you doing, by the way?
Had a closing yesterday.
Oh, fantastic.
That's
awesome.
How good is
Thank you.
Wow.
What did they say about your gifts? Were they excited when they see that?
Tyler was like, he needs to know. And I was like, please tell
Yeah.
him. No,
Did you see?
Yeah, I did send the pictures. So, I was at a closing yesterday, and on the table she had a bottle of wine, bottle of champagne, gift baskets, balloons, the
Where's
whole
the
nine
title
yards.
company?
Yeah, the chocolate.
It was a party in
Did you take that keys, guy?
Yeah, so that's so. Yeah.
So it just kind of, they had a dog, so I got some dogs, like a outfit, dog toys.
That's very nice. That's very nice. Yeah.
That's great.
What kind of dog? Benson?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
What does it show up the sign? Like when I seen that, I got close in. I should probably step up my game here.
So that was the marketing tool that I came up with.
Yeah, we have ears, we have feet. We didn't have your own insert. And so we got the company number, so you can share it and use it for everyone.
Who did this
You gotta
sign?
show us.
What's up, Lord?
No, I'm just kidding. You probably did.
I'm trying.
What's the lead time to make this up?
The nameplate, I think, is 4 to 5 days, something like that, from the time we get.
Oh, so
You
get
did?
it close and closing before we get assigned.
So this provider.
So you don't have.
So this, if you want to take two, take this today. I mean, there's no problem. That's what I'm afraid. If you wanted to get your own insert, that should take more. This has got your name on it.
Okay. And how much?
So you have, I think $21.
Do they handle car magnetic signs?
I do, I have that.
Are you close?
I know where you.
I am working on that. That's what I'm working.
Oh, nice.
I think $21 down. But then, you get to use it over and over again forever, especially if the show closing days. That's it, yeah.
How's everybody doing? Like, what's new? I haven't seen you guys. You guys have
Summer doldrums here.
Okay. Yeah, are you guys working on this thing? Fired.
Whatever comes along.
Oh, awesome. I was saying, I haven't seen you guys in a while. What are you guys working on?
Well, I just got that closing I'm working on. Yeah, it's going through. Very nicely.
So one of the things that I always like to do with a closing, whether I was listening to a buyer's agent, is I would send a letter to all of the neighbors around that particular one with, if I was representing the buyer, it would be, we just closed, welcome to the neighborhood, your new neighbors. And then I'd have my contact information. And then if you're the listing agent, I would have, hey, your neighbors just sold their home. If you're thinking about selling your home, we just sold this one. Here's a sample CMA. So I would use that one closing as a potential marketing point for other closings in that neighborhood. See if it's a way that it's a canvas, just sold. Yeah, exactly right. There's a ton. Now that one's you have more new construction in that one, but that it's a huge community. You probably have people that don't sell a lot of
She wants to do a home,
a forming party.
housewarming party, so she finally called me up.
Good. Well, and that's something too. I think we talked a little bit about that. You can host it. You can provide some food. Yeah, exactly right.
That's what I told her.
What a perfect opportunity to get in front of all of her friends at her home and say, "Hey, I sold her this home. If you want a home just like this, talk to me."
Who's the builder?
KB.
Okay,
Katie?
Yeah.
Yeah, which community?
it's in Brandon, so, or
So it's in Riverview, the
Riverview.
watershed.
River,
I was two, or I was one, or I was two. I forget what there's something.
My watershed doesn't have.
It's not watershed. It's the one just it's just off just south of Big Bend 301, or that
I
southeast
know,
corner right there.
Yeah, it's supposed to be open.
It's a Metro Places line. It's not even it's Metro Places. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
The no CBD one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it, right there off of, it's, cross streets or up to Big Bend Road. Yeah, I know exactly where that's at. That's awesome, congrats.
Well, that was a while back.
Oh, okay, well, still.
I know, still
Well,
celebrating.
and that's why client retention is one of the best ways to grow your new client base.
Yeah.
Because you've already worked with them, you've already closed with them, they like you like them. The cost of keeping a client is way less than trying to get new clients.
Yeah.
So if you can use some of your existing client base to build a new client base, and that's the economics of that work much better. You're also solicit for raising clients.
Yes.
Anything else? Any other pros, cons, things that we're struggling with, things, success stories?
My listing, you guys gotta bring me a buyer, man.
Yeah.
Man, I'm like, I'm drowning here.
Is that for the condo that you have over in, was it State Park?
Yeah.
Oh, so that was something you, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay,
Yes, we can have.
that condo is nice.
Oh, yeah.
It's nice, but
Wasn't
it's
It's vacant though,
what
right?
I keep running into,
Yeah.
and if you guys get a chance to go tour it, I'd love your feedback.
Yeah.
I hate to say this because my listing, but it's off the main road and you can hear every sound on that road.
Hmm.
Lot of traffic on the bottom.
So.
Right, yeah.
And, yeah.
And you won't find that until you're actually there. You can see it online, it shows great.
Yeah, so it's still listed, so.
How long has it been on the market?
Great thing.
Just about a month and going on 2 weeks now, we're dropping the price, probably tonight. So she just signed off on that, so we're dropping the price 5G, so
Yeah.
you guys know you want. Yeah, you guys can repost it.
What's the monthly fee there?
Monday night or,
The condo, is the condo?
it's a condo association, so you're looking at about 4 or 5 per month. Under it.
Is that your only listing that you have right now, or? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you had multiples. 'Cause you typically
I'm
have
not that cool.
quite a bit.
I don't know.
Probably you don't have
I
much,
like
listing, just
the
close
pink
on one.
socks, you know.
Well, I figured I have to match the shirt. That's
And
what
then
I was
my
going
person
for.
does it, it's stronger or
All right, anything else? Any pros, cons, success stories, pain points?
You look like you're getting a little tired there.
I gotta tell you, so having 2 kids and having a business, that's all I have in my life. It's
Yeah.
babies at home, work here, and that's about it. I go to a networking event every now and then, but that's about all we got these days.
No, it's happening tomorrow afternoon. There's not networking.
The network after
There's a
work.
community.
Network after work. So
Yeah. I
network,
like that one.
networking after work is a great organization. Networking after work is the name of the networking organization that hosts once a month networking events, and they'll get 250 people to come to that. What's great is I've been to a couple of them now.
I like that.
Where's this one? Is this the one over in downtown, over
Well,
at
it
Spicy
was
Bar?
that- but they changed. They meet different places.
Okay.
That was my first time.
Okay.
And the guy who spoke, the lawyer,
Yeah.
he was there.
Oh, nice, perfect, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I like that, everybody has a name badge, and it's color
Yes.
coordinated, so you know
Yes.
what industry everybody's in too.
And I met a guy who just moved like 2 weeks from Chicago. I was like, oh, you're gonna meet me to find your house. I'm like, I just wanna learn the area. I'm like, okay, I'll give you a year, but remember me.
Mhm.
I have your information, so you
Exactly.
do, you meet a lot of people.
Yeah, networking events are
You
great,
never
and
know.
that group
I
in
like
particular,
that.
I like.
When they say a year, you just starting a year out. I've been reading articles. A year is always like I'm okay. You're like, hey, how you doing? I'm okay. It's just almost like a filler. You're like,
Yeah.
I've been thinking about it. If they say they're looking for a house, they've been thinking about it.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
we just throw it out there.
definitely. Yeah, because that was the same thing with Ingrid, because she waited a year, she just moved from Atlanta. So I understood she wanted to, check out the area and see what we did, we found her a home.
Mhm.
So a year go by like that,
Yeah.
because you don't wait a whole year, you start before,
Yeah.
the year ends, because that lease ends.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
And you were mentioning a networking event. Is that what you were saying tomorrow?
No,
Networking event?
it wasn't that. It was the stuff you tagged us in. I thought it was talking about the builder open is happening at 4:30.
Oh, that one, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's happening tomorrow. I just had it on the calendar with that.
Well, that's one of the things, the guy that was supposed to be the builder, that was gonna give us information, and we had to reschedule.
Yep, so he was supposed to come, but he couldn't, so Elena, or Eliana, she was his replacement that came in, but it was the same builder that came, so they don't want to talk about it. Yeah.
You guys go to that?
I can go to it. That's always good, because it's a good way to get in touch with the builder.
That's going on tomorrow.
Tomorrow evening at their community over in West Shore.
From 5 or 4:30 until something.
Oh, is it at the building that's like right on the corner of West Shore and,
So far to south.
West Shore and Yandy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
yeah, that's not the one I was thinking of. Okay.
I've watched that place over the last few years start to really build up.
West Shore and Yandy, oh yeah, the projects that they have coming up on there.
It used to be a ghetto down there.
Yeah.
All the time.
Well, I mean, and so south of Gandy is very interesting that if you stay along the coast, essentially, if you are west of West Shore and east of McDill, you're great. But if you're in the middle, if you're essentially anywhere along Himes, Manhattan, or Dale Mabry, you have, $70,000 homes, $30,000 homes. But as more and more people want to be in Southampton, that's the only affordable place to be. And so you're going to see I think over the next couple of years, more and more gentrification in that neighborhood. All right. Anything else?
But you,
Okay.
you're
Pros and cons of. So right now, everything that I see from a economic standpoint is that the real estate market in general is going to do very well over the next 2-3 years here in Tampa. One, that's because Tampa is still growing. The number one thing I look at is, are people moving to Tampa and are they getting jobs in Tampa? And every month, every quarter, every year, the job growth rate in Tampa is still growing, and the influx of people to Tampa is still growing. So long as those two numbers are still either improving or at least staying steady on a regular basis, I'm very bullish on the real estate market in Tampa in general. Once you see that number start to tick down a little bit, that's something that I would say, okay, maybe things are going to slow a little bit, and we'll go from there. I also look to see how many people get their real estate license, because that will also dictate if people see a general sense that, hey, things are going good, I might consider getting my license and be a part of the action too. So that's also something I look at to see what is the general sentiment on real estate practitioners. Because if that number keeps going up, people assume, okay, I get my license today, in 6 months from now I'll sell a home, so they must think in the future things are going to be looking good. So those numbers still going up. That number they do predict to go down next year. They actually think fewer people will get their real estate license last year or next year than this year. Mm-hmm.
for the market, what are you guys' reports?
So from the agent perspective, I get that from GSAR and the DPPR. From the housing perspective, the Tampa EDC, the Economic Development Corporation, they help determine the number of jobs and job growth here in Tampa. The Department of Business and Labor Statistics, the BLS, in the U.S. government. And then there's a blog I like to follow called, I forget what it's called. Calculated Risk is the name of the blog. Calculated Risk, and it's all about general economics, housing. It's really good. So those three sources are where I get my data. GTAR, the DPPR, BLS, the Bureau of Labor and Statistics, and calculated risk.
You got the BLS and what's the one for the job growth?
The Hillsborough Tampa EDC, Economic Development Corporation.
What day are you gonna make up those graphs that you did?
So I've got them all printed now, and I've got them all in a.
Can you neutralize those a little bit? I mean, your name's on all those.
Yes. Do you want me to just do Hohman?
Oh.
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, because if you're sharing it too, yeah, but just the graphs I can easily send out blank. And
Well, I can probably figure out how to take the data and make the graphs.
Sure.
And then you probably have some templates made up to overlay
I do.
the
Yeah.
chart.
And so if you want, what I can do is
I
I
could
just
probably
like your name.
change the name.
Well, I can easily do that. So I can do that. And that way.
I wanna get those going on a monthly basis,
Sure, go ahead.
in different areas up there. Have you seen those yet?
I think I took it with my friend, so I don't know.
Is that one extra coming by?
Oh.
Yeah, you are good to go. Yep.
Oh, we have to do something like put like big,
It's
advertisement.
thing, so it's kind of, she said if it was an
Oh,
interior, but because it's out on
They
common
don't like
ground,
that.
they're being a little, I would have done that already.
I know.
I
It's
had
so hard.
one relocation that wanted to turn it into a.
I watched your
residential
listing thing this
driveway,
afternoon,
Yeah.
so I came down here.
My friends
So let's
The
figure
good
it out.
thing about this
I
is you can watch them over,
Yeah, I
and
wanna
picture
get rid of
this
it.
stuff.
Yeah.
That's
right.
I thought it was great, I mean, granted.
Yeah, I just did a listing agreement today.
But
Fantastic.
Well, great.
Someone can come in there and say, I love it, I'll
And,
update it.
And as far as looking for the stuff on the MLS, like the expires.
Yep, so that's the next one. I got some of this. Exactly
Yeah,
how we
it'll
pull
be
that
on there.
process.
I'm
So
trying,
I
I'm
can-
trying.
and
I
use-
see you
research
do it
that.
again, just have another
So we
open
can
house.
reach
Maybe if you
I
have
And then
an
like
open
private
house.
numbers and stuff like
And,
that.
oh,
Yeah,
I'm sorry, in
Yeah.
front of the people. don't know,
88
I don't know
days,
who's looking, but
178 days.
So you can do that, you can
other realtors.
pre-screen.
Do their first
Because
house, Christine,
expired
on
date
the
isn't
top,
Okay.
we do that, so
Yeah.
if you want to
We'll never
do
know
it
specifically.
this weekend or
For most
next
people, have
Okay.
it for 6 months. So you can
Okay,
see if
well,
a
I'll
home's-
see which we can,
if a home was listed
it has to be before
5 months,
the
2 weeks ago,
first of
then you
the,
probably know it's gonna
next
expire pretty soon.
some vote,
So
okay.
you can target
So,
listing.
but, you know,
You can get
whenever
one of those
we
knock
can
on
do
the
that,
door
and
and
then
go,
we can each and
Right, the
every-
only-
say,
you
I'm
know,
just, your house is not for
realtors
sale.
say, hey,
You sign
come
up
see
there.
That's about, yeah.
because they'll bring their buyers.
That's what
Everyone
they know.
waits. You can't really advertise.
So they would know when
Yeah.
it's expired,
It's
right?
gonna go really quick and I
Yeah.
know.
The agents,
With all of the feedback,
oh,
literally every
I'll be
single
watching
agent
that.
that has
Right.
looked at
And have you
it,
had any luck? Have you gone up
it's
to
like,
them?
No, I haven't done that yet, I just see it.
clients just.
So you're doing the research.
Well, I am getting
That's
notifications,
just something you can cure.
and then expired listings
Yeah,
in
because
the
it's
area,
right there
like,
off the street.
they come out,
Or
right?
you can say, hey,
Okay, so
at least,
You
you
take
know,
that
you don't
information
have
and
to go
what you
through
do
the
with it.
neighborhood to get out. You know,
Well,
there.
don't
You know,
start
just
right
try
now.
to-
That's what you do if it's not.
Play up the good stuff. Play up the good stuff.
What do you do with it? What do you do?
It's like, oh, we have to see you.
As soon as you find that information, what do you do?
Come brainstorm.
You got it.
Oh,
Yeah,
you got
yeah,
it. Okay.
So that's what I'm saying. I'm asking you what you actually do with the information once you get it.
Well, you kind of gotta look at the house and see if it's overpriced.
Okay, once you find something, what is your criteria for, to make,
Yeah,
to prompt you to go knock on the door?
And it's expired.
So what's great is a
No,
lot
it's
of
not.
the programming that I have is
And you're not
I don't
going
the
to-
classes, and so